So guys, this is the part 3 of the video that Sean Davy Way put out. He put it out on his show earlier, and I'm just taking excerpts of it and just doing the video audio. So here we go. Continuation from part 2. So the credit of this video is going to Sean Davy Way Show. You guys check out his show, okay? Give him some support. I was in heaven. There was hot water coming through the pipes. Oh my God, there was no water cutting off. Are you serious? Child, Americans don't know how good they got it. Okay, that's all I got to say. But let's get back. See how easily I diverted. Let's get back to this, okay? Let's get back to this.
That is outright insidious. It is. And to think that this insidious, wife-abusing sex addict dares to try to lump himself with us and call himself a member of our family or an assistant to the company.
Well, he can't be assistant to the company unless he was made assistant to the company. Jaguar said she made him assistant to the company. So that's what I mean, this culpability. You can't just blame him for being assistant to the company. Jaguar is the one who gives him that title. This is how people can get into your head, folks. All right? And they can give everything away. If she had money, she would have given him money. You know, if she was like a millionaire, he would have been able to get a lot of money out of her because he got into her head and he was able to convince her of a lot of things. Now, if you got a company and you got one child living, the only child, that's who you want to make the assistant. You want to keep it in the family. But this young man, Solar, came into her life and was wooing and swooing and meandering his way and snaking his way into her heart and her mind. And he managed to do so. So she was able to make him director, assistant director, or whatever the title was, instead of giving it to her son, her only living son. Let's continue to listen. So she's also to be blamed, in my eye.
There are two things that I will say to you and everyone else about how I feel about that. You didn't sign any papers about being an intern to the company or being any form of assistant. So you're not even officially in at all. You're just making up claims, and you want to stick on just to drain some money, like Nosferatu trying to drink some blood for some food. And as for the claims of being trying to be a part of a family and move in, that has to be the biggest insult to me that I have ever heard in my life. I love all of my family members equally. And even those who I speak up against the most about the things that they've done in their past or what they're doing in the present.
Well, in terms of that, I'm going to tell you something about family members. You're born within a group of people that you had no control and no choice in being born into that group. God put you with those people. So whether you like it or not, this is for all those who walk around and say, I hate my family. It's only one family you have. You're going to get another one, okay? You might go and artificially start another family. You might adopt some kids. You might interject yourself into somebody else's family and call them brother and sister and family and mom and dad. but it's artificial. It's made up. And so you get one family, just like how you get one mom and dad generically. I'm not talking about adoption. I'm talking about one mom and dad who, the sperm and the egg, etc. But you can, in today's society, there's so many blends of family, so many ways to have a family. But I'm talking about what God gave you when you were conceived with that sperm and that egg, and you were born into that family. You don't get a choice. So it's okay if you don't like some of them suckers, okay? It's all right. Because you don't like everybody, including some family members. Some family members are worse than strangers. So it's okay to hate their asses, okay? Dislike them. You may love the fact that they are your family, but you may hate their behavior, and that's okay. So don't ever feel as though you are so guilty. Oh, I don't like my family. I feel so bad. No, it's all right. Maybe they don't have ways that you should embrace and you should be proud of and you should like. So it's okay not to be around them and not to like them, because you don't have a choice on who you call, well, generically anyway. You don't have that choice. God put you in that family. It may not be the family that you would have chosen had you have a choice. Let's continue to listen.
For as much as I have badmouth about some of the things that my father has chosen to done in the past, I still love him. I still love each of the members of my family on the Oldham side or anyone else connected to them. They're my Christian. I'm pretty sure one of the things that we also know alongside the commandments, hate the sin, not the sinner.
That's the word.
And for all of the bad things that I come to know about some members of my family and how we've been mentally changed over the years, no matter what side, right, Odom, or anyone else in between, not one of them do I know think that it is okay to do any of the things he's done in his whole life right now.
And he's talking about, beating women, beating a pregnant woman, and doing some other things that he has done. We're talking about Solar now. Doing some other things that he has done when he was a member of this nation, this soldier, this Nature Boys Carbon Nation. And that's what he's talking about. Because, like I said before, a lot of people didn't know about Solar. They know about Nature Boy. But Solar was the sidekick. And usually you don't really are interested in the sidekicks. You're interested in the main character. So people knew about Nature Boy. And now Solar has emerged. And some people were saying that they felt so sorry for him when he was with Nature Boy, because when he was in Carbon Nation, because Nature Boy really mistreated him. And now I guess he has learned from that. And now he is going to do to others that was done unto him. That's what it looks like to me. But let's continue to listen.
So, if you think you can lump yourself in and connect yourself with me and my family, I got 2 words for you. And as much as I'd like to be nice, gloves are off. Everyone strap in, because I got a loaded SMG and an assault rifle of words, and I ain't gonna stop firing once I start.
I found that to be so cute when he said he has all these guns that are going to come blazing with words, and he's not going to stop. I mean, he should be a writer, I think, because he has such a way with words that you can almost picture it. And that is the hallmark of a good writer, when you can tell a story and you can transfix someone into imagining what you're talking about. That is the hallmark of a good writer. So I think besides being an artist, he should look into being a writer, because he tells the story, he paints the story so well. Let's continue to listen.
Piss off. You think you can lump yourself in with us and be as close with my mother as you were in the past couple of days? Knowing all the things she's been through in her life and how much she's had to sacrifice to keep me happy, to protect me from what I think was wrong.
So I think he paints a good picture in just a few words of his mother's relationship with him. He said, my mother, I'm paraphrasing, my mother went through a lot to keep me happy. So when Jaguar talks about her son, and she talks about how much she loves her son and she would die for her son, she kidnapped her son, in her words, and had to pay a price for it by going to jail. All those things, I guess, her son is reflecting on and is thinking, my mother went through so much to keep me happy. And I know in my family, I have an aunt, she and her husband was separated. And she used to steal her children from him. Like, he wanted sole custody. This is back in South America. I was a little girl at the time. But children observe. People think children are not very observant, but they are. I observed everything, okay? I watched everything in silence, because children were not supposed to speak. You were supposed to be seen and not heard. That was the saying. So I observed. I would sit there quietly and just watch. I was six years old. But I remember everything that went on. Anyway, my aunt used to steal her children from her husband. And I would hear the adults talking also. And he wanted sole custody. She wanted sole custody. And they did not go to court. And that's what went on. That was a common practice back there. Very common. For, especially if it was one child or two children, they would steal the children from each other. The children would be playing in the yard, and they would just come by and grab the child by the hand and say, let's go. And the child would go off with them because it was their parent. And then for months, the other parent wouldn't know where the child is because they would move. And when, it was a small place, right? Very small town. And they would inquire, the neighbors would tell them, okay, she's at this person's house. She's living here. She's living there. And when they would find out the address, they would go and wait for that child to be playing in the yard again and steal that child. And that went on for years. Okay? Because he didn't go to court and say, okay, I want joint custody. Okay, you can see the child 4 days of the week and you see the child 3 days in the week. That didn't go on, honey. It wasn't America. America is different. In South America, when I grew up, a little girl, I'm sure things are different now because we're living in a relatively modern society. But when I was growing up in the 50s, okay, that's how you got custody of your kids. You go steal them. So I guess Jaguar Wright was doing the same old thing, right? She went and got her son. She was charged with child abduction, and she went to jail for it. All right, so let's continue to listen to her son. That just put me back in that frame of mind, in that era that I was a little girl at the time. But people used to do that. It was common. You didn't go to jail for it. You just went to steal the child back.
You take the heart of a kind soul selfless enough to care for others and wanting to help them. And you take advantage of that sweet person for your greed, for your pleasure.
Wow.
No, you don't. I'm not one for violence, and I'm not one to rely on violent means to get things across. But despite that, I will not roll over and accept what he's done and thinks he can get away with. Hell to the no.
Okay, guys, that's what I say. That's what I say. Hell to the no. To the no, okay? Because some of these people think they can walk into your life, walk into your family, and just take over and act as if they've always been there, okay? But we know they're brand new. So hell to the no. And that goes not only for Solar, that goes to everybody else who walks into people's families and try to take over like if they are they've always been there and they are the real family member, because we are analyzing this video clip that was put out. Okay. And if you guys have any comments, drop it in the comment section. I'm sure you want to input also and state what you feel, what you think, what you would or would not have done if Jaguar's son is in his right to come out and speak on the subject matter. Anyway, YouTubers, I'm over and out on this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel and to this video. Thank you for watching.